It's the Friendly Investor Podcast.
What a nightmare. Due to lettuce shortages, Aussie KFC stores are now using cabbage in their burgers. Did someone say, yuck? That's finger-licking not good. No one likes cabbage. And this is hell for me because my favourite thing ever is the Zinger burger.
Yeah.
I've eaten a lot of them in my life, but it's accompanied by my least favourite thing on earth, hot cabbage.
You hate cabbage that much?
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't remember why I hate hot cabbage so much?
I don't know.
I've not told you this before.
Should I remember? Oh, yeah. I remember now.
So,
yeah.
So when I was a teenager, right?
Yeah.
Don't laugh. I had shocking acne, and my mum had read somewhere that putting steaming hot cabbage in a tea towel and wrapping it tightly around your face would help with your skin. So I did that every damn day for months on end. It didn't clear anything up. I still had acne, and to top it off, I just smelled like cabbage at school.
So you a cabbage boy?
Acne cabbage boy. 13, 24, 10. As a teenager, what did you do to try and cure the ugly? 13, 24, 10 is the number. Jess joins us now. Jess, what did you do as a teen to try and cure the ugly?
So I used to dye my hair black, and when my regrowth would come in and I would be ready, like going out, I would use permanent texture to fill in the regrowth.
That's awesome.
And weirdly, it works.
Oh, no.
How old were you when you were doing that, Jess?
I was probably about 17 because I couldn't afford to get my hair redone.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you just would have smelt like Sharpie. Like
Colouring in your hair. That's a good one.
Oh, so good. Shannon, what were you doing as a teenager?
Hey, Ben and Liam. I was using cow udder ointment for my psoriasis.
Oh,
Cow
okay.
udder ointment.
Is
So that was a product that farmers would use for cows on their udders, but you were using it for yourself.
Yes.
Oh, did it work?
Well, I'm not sure. I reckon it helped because I don't have the little psoriasis spots anymore. So
I must ask Shannon because maybe I'm the only one in the room that doesn't know. What is psoriasis? Is it a skin thing?
yeah, it's like eczema, but it's just a little bit more aggressive.
Yeah, right. Okay.
So you needed the heavy duty stuff. You
Yeah.
needed the stuff for the cattle. Kristen, what did you do to cure the ugly?
I had pretty bad teeth in high school. Super embarrassed about it. Grabbed a cheap nail file from the teeth shop and tried to file them down my face.
Oh, that seems painful.
Oh, no.
Didn't hurt. It didn't work either.
Oh,
That's shocking, Kristen.
that's hardcore.
Oh, last one here from Jackie. What did you try and do?
So when I was growing up, I used to swim a lot and my hair was really blonde and it used to go green. And so the only thing that I could do to get rid of the green was to wash my hair in cans of tomato soup.
Where's Jackie? Oh, she's just having her soup shower. Yeah, I don't understand teenage girls. Give us a buzz right now, 13 24 10, if you're bougie on a budget. Tell you what, just those little things that make you feel fancy. Because, yeah, we're bougie. On a budget, of course. I don't know if I've told you this, Ben, but I was just thinking about the other day. I'm like, I suppose it's a little bit weird. Like, I don't know if everyone would do this, but we have bought a ton of cloth serviettes. So every night when we eat dinner,
Yeah.
we put the little serviette over our laps like we're at a fancy restaurant.
Wow.
And then we eat, and then we dab our mouths, and then we throw them into a pile, do a big wash at the end of the week. Oh, yeah.
Better for the environment, but I must admit I don't like the idea of doing more washing than I need to.
But they're just going in with the whites anyway, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
it's sort of, it's not, you're not doing any more washing than you would be. It's going in the same load.
Yeah. And I just don't use napkins at home. But that's also like, that's your house. You do what feels good.
Thank you.
Well, speaking of being bougie on a budget, Liam, my wife Sam and I recently bought a new fridge.
Oh, yeah?
But you know, you go to like fancy houses, right? And they've got their fridge like plumbed up to water, and it's got like ice and
I've
water.
always wanted
Yeah.
one of those fridges. Yeah.
Couldn't afford that.
Yeah.
Plus, we'd have to get a plumber to put a pipe in behind the
it's a
fridge.
bit of a pain, isn't
Bit
it?
of a pain. Bougie on a budget, though, you can get ones where you have to manually fill up the ice and the water.
So you were still making your own ice, and then you just put it in a little.
Yeah. But if someone comes over, they're going to think we're bougie.
Wow, they'll be like, wow, they've got this plumbed up.
Yeah, but we don't.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, bougie on a budget. What little things make you feel fancy at home? 13 24 10 is the number.
Chelsea joins us now. Chelsea, how are you bougie on a budget?
My partner and I both have matching robes with our initials on it. And so we feel like we're at a hotel.
You know what?
Chopper.
The initials really take that up a notch.
That really just kicks it into gear, doesn't
Whose
it?
idea was that, Chelsea?
Mine, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Every day is a holiday. That is perfect.
Scott joins us now. Are you bougie on a budget?
I'd like to think so, yeah. We have those big salt and pepper shakers, the big wooden girthy ones that you have at the restaurant.
I mean, everyone's got those. They're very common.
Yeah, you're an easy to
They've
please
got
man.
More substance than the little, plasticky ones that you get.
Oh, for sure. No, yeah. If that's your thing, that's your thing. I've also got those.
Hey,
I'm pretty sure.
Man.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's extra girthy though, as you said.
You know what is fancy, and I think to be honest, the wooden ones are probably more like traditional because you get the hand grind.
Yeah.
But my wife Sam, her mum and dad have the electric ones. Yeah,
pretty cool. Scott's like really flat now. Maybe I'm not as bougie as I thought.
Lorraine, are you bougie on a budget?
Yeah, hi Ben and Liam. Since the kids were little, I've always set crystal wine glasses on the table, and in the decanter we have water, and if we're celebrating, we'll put Coke in it.
Oh,
wow.
I love that. So the kids know what's up early on when they get to that
Absolutely.
wine drinking age.
It's funny though because the whole point of decanting, like when you've got wine, is to aerate the wine, whereas you don't really want to aerate your Coke because it's just going to go flat.
True. I feel like you decanting your Coke, it's just going to end up flat with ants in it. So, I mean, but I appreciate that you're doing it to be bougie on a budget.
You're in right now for a debate.
It's a debate, a big debate. Who will win
Ben and I have 30 seconds each. We go head to head. It's up to the jury to decide who is the victor. Now, obviously, this weekend, a lot of people are going to be heading into cinemas to see the new Doctor Strange film.
Yep.
Doctor Strange, something in the multiverse. I don't know what the hell a multiverse is. The movies were confusing enough before they started doing that.
It's when there's an infinite amount of dimensions, Liam.
Yeah, it's a lot to get through in 2 hours. Either way, I'm not a big fan. That's why the topic is Marvel movies suck. I'm saying they do, Ben. You're saying no way. You love Marvel movies.
I have seen every single Marvel movie. I haven't gone into the TV shows. I know they exist as well. But so much that recently my wife Sam and I, we went back and we re-watched all the Marvel movies in the right order so that each one finishes where the other one starts.
You say recently, have you been doing that over the last 4 years? You've been watching a movie every night? There's a lot of them.
All right, so I'm saying they don't suck. 30 seconds on the clock. You're lying to yourself if you think there's something better than going to the cinemas, sucking down a litre of frozen Coke and then dipping your sticky little mitts into a buttery popcorn and watching Mickey Rourke whip the ass out of Robert Downey Jr. with an electric whip. You got Paul Rudd, who's the size of an ant. You got a shirtless Chris Hemsworth with a beer gut. Samuel L. Jackson wearing an eye patch. What's not to love? If you're saying Marvel sucks, you're also saying Titanic, Avatar and Star Wars sucks because it's made more than all of those movies in the box office and it's owned by Disney, the American multinational mass media entertainment conglomerate. So, you know they're not in it for the money, they're in it for the love of cinema.
Oh my God. Falser words never spoken. I know that's not the expression, but I had to change it a little bit on your account.
All right, you ready to go, Liam?
Yeah. Obviously, Marvel missed the memo on quality over quantity. They're churning 50 of these turds out a year. Does the world really need 4 Thors, 3 Ant-Mans, 2 Doctor Strangers, 1 Morbius? They're all the same. A villain comes in, they go, uh-oh, we've got company. They beat the villain, and then they deliver some goofy Scooby-Doo line. I don't get it. You sit through 2 hours of crap, then you sit through the credits so you can see a scene foreshadowing the next load of crap that you're going to go see a month later. I wish I was the big purple thumb man Thanos so I could click my fingers and make the whole franchise disappear.
You say you don't like them, but I know you've seen a fair few of them.
Courtney joins us now. What do you think? Do you reckon Ben's right? Are Marvel movies great or do they suck?
No, I Marvel movies are amazing. I do admit, I go with my husband. He's there for the movie. I'm more for the popcorn and all the sweets. So, but yeah, I'm still going with Ben for sure.
Whether you're there for the movie, the popcorn doesn't matter. Either way,
I don't
you're
think you
loving
should-
that
you can
Marvel
eat,
movie.
You can eat popcorn and not be in the movie. You know, you can go anywhere.
That is a point to me. Helen, who won the big debate? Was it me or was it Liam?
Oh, definitely, Liam. Ben, you cannot say they don't do it for money. Do you know how much they've grossed? $26 billion.
Yeah.
Wowza.
It just goes to show how many stupid people are out there, Ben. Like, you know, people we know on the radio.
Yeah.
You know
I'm
what
saying money doesn't lie, Helen.
Got that.
Money talks the truth, and they're the
Yeah, but
highest
it's just
grossing film of all
It
time.
appeals to the masses. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's necessarily a good thing. Well, anyway, you wouldn't believe this, but it's all come down to Antonio. He has the deciding vote on who wins the big debate, whether it be Ben or myself.
Boys, how you going? Ben and Liam.
Good, Antonio.
Well, I actually do come into this without any preconceived ideas because I've never seen any Marvel movie ever.
Really?
Yep. Look, boys, here's the thing. Your debates, they're getting better, finally. You both had very strong debates today. Liam, you talked about the movies being too long. There's too many of them. You need too much prior knowledge. I think that's why I've never seen one. I just feel like I'm too far behind.
Yeah.
Although I did see the one scene, like, where Thor runs into that Led Zeppelin song.
Oh,
And it's
yeah,
very
Yeah,
cool.
no, I'll give you that. That is
Yeah.
actually really cool, yeah.
Do you know what? I didn't think I'd do this 2 weeks in a row, but Liam, you are the winner.
Oh, come on.
That was a debate, a big debate. We now have the winner.
Antonio, if you're not into Marvel movies, in your rumpus room, what's your go-to movie, mate?
Oh, Godfather.
Of course it is.
2 years ago, Ben, I was telling you about Malcolm McDonald. A decade ago, he had a blood infection so severe that his peen fell off.
It's not funny. I remember this story.
Yeah. Which is not good. That's not fun.
Not at all.
That's not a good
Imagine
day.
waking up one day and your peen fell off.
It's not a great way to start the week. So anyway, obviously there's all sorts of crazy different ways, you know, people can change their bodies these days, and doctors actually made him a new one that actually grew on his forearm. So it was connected up to like blood vessels and that sort of stuff. It was growing on his forearm. That's been there for 6 years. So for 6 years, this man has had one just in his sleeve there.
I think you and I, because you said you did mention this 2 years ago, we've already spoken in detail about this, but why wouldn't the doctors have put it somewhere a bit more discreet, apart from the
Like
forearm?
on his thigh or something. I don't know, like somewhere a little closer to
Like,
home.
imagine going to family dinner and like reaching over to get the salt. Sorry, Nana.
Flops into the food. Oh, sorry guys. Sorry, that's just me. God knows what would happen if he's lifting weights.
What do you mean?
If he gets
A bit of a pump on.
I wouldn't want to go to the gym with
No.
Malcolm. Anyway,
Do you think he cut holes in all of his shirt sleeves?
I think he was covering it up. I think he was showing it up. Oh, I like, you know, how some, you know, you get, you know, people like point things out sometimes. Like, you know, a kid goes, Mum, what's that?
Yeah.
And then you not even knowing what it is. I'm like, oh, I've never seen this before. I wouldn't be able to tell you. But so it was sort of, it was on his arm. It
Yep.
was living there, so it could sort of become part of his body. It was sort of growing there. So it's been growing for 6 years. It was probably ready to go 2 years ago.
But leave it on there for a few more.
Let's leave that. You know, I haven't had one for 10 years. Let's let that cook a little longer.
So it's cooking on his arm. It gets to a point he's happy with.
yeah, so this is the update.
They then what? Then remove
Now
it.
they have surgically moved it from his forearm back to its new home or, you know, old home.
And it works.
So apparently, yes.
fully functioning.
I think, yeah. I don't know
Wow.
all the ins and outs, but he now has that part of him back where it should be.
That is a medical marvel.
Quite the journey, it's all good. And now he's allowed to go to dinner parties again, which is nice. So yeah, no, it is though. Isn't it? It's a medical marvel. It's a bit of a medical mystery.
Yeah.
Actually. Now, I'm not expecting anything on this level.
Yeah.
But if you are a medical mystery, maybe you were born with something extra,
Yep.
or something that just doctors were like, well, you know, we've never seen this, or this is such a rare thing to be
Yeah.
born with, or
Yeah.
you know, such a rare thing to develop throughout life. I don't know what it is, but anything. Medical mysteries. Have you baffled the doctors? 13 24 10. Give us a buzz.
Jay joins us now. Jay, this was your father-in-law, a medical mystery. What was it?
So he had a cardiac arrest at home and he was down for like at least 30 minutes. He was taken to ED. No one was home. My mother-in-law got the neighbours to take him to ED. He was declared dead, but my sister-in-law worked in the same hospital, so they said, can you please get her? So she comes in, sees him, and just started CPR on him, and he comes back, and he lived like 3.5 years after that.
No way.
So how long was he sort of
Like,
legally
essentially dead
pronounced
for?
dead for?
At least 30 minutes. And then even after that, like, he was in ICU for 6 months. They said he's not going to make it. We just need to turn the ventilator off. He accidentally was given the wrong blood transfusion. He still made it. After 6 months in ICU, he comes home on my husband's birthday, and he lived 3.5 years. We're like, wow, this is just
Wow.
miracle. Every doctor wanted to know, like, what happened? What did we do right to get him out of ICU alive?
Yeah.
That is mind-blowing. I mean, and do you know what you did do right, or was it just more margarine than butter over the years?
They don't know. I think maybe he just had cat lives.
Yeah, he just had the will to live. You couldn't kill him.
Medical errors, and still made it.
Yeah,
Wow,
right,
Jay.
Jay. Incredible story.
What did you bring in for show and tell? 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. I was taking the dog for a walk yesterday with my wife Sam, and while we were walking, Liam, she started laughing, and I said, "What's funny?" And she said, "Oh, I saw something that reminded me of when I was a kid. Another kid brought that in for show and tell." And I said, "What was it?" And she said, "Well, we see on the road there. You know when you're driving and they've got the reflectors glued to the road?
Yeah.
A kid brought one of those in, which just reeks of." I didn't have anything to bring in, so I forgot.
And I saw that on the way to school, and I thought, that's pretty cool. And then he had to think of sort of a backstory for that. I remember, Harry, my mate.
Yeah.
This is a ripper. I think I've told you this before, but they had a pirate copy of Shrek 2.
Yeah.
And the parents were saying, like, we're not allowed to have it. You remember when it was like actually dicey to have a pirate copy, like whether it was from Bali or whatever.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, we're not allowed to talk about this. And he brought it in for show and tell, and because it was before it was out on DVD.
Oh, wow, before it was out.
Yeah. And he said, oh, no, the reason we got this is because Mum filmed it in the cinema.
Which is even worse.
I know. And then the teacher had to call home and be like, are you filming movies and burning DVDs?
What did you bring in for show and tell? 13 24 10. Give us a buzz. Maybe it was you, or maybe someone else brought something in for show and tell and you still remember what it was to this day. Brad joins us now. What did you bring in for show and tell?
Yeah, hey guys. I brought in a prosthetic leg that my grandpa had.
Oh, your grandpa?
With or without permission?
With permission. He sat in the top car park while I showed and told it. And,
I was going to say, yeah, that would be pretty bad if Grandpa was just asleep and you took his leg and he just got up to go to the toilet and fell to the side.
How did it go down with the classroom?
Yeah, people were surprised, but yeah, he did have his shoes still on there, so...
No time to waste, Grandpa. I'm late for show and tell.
Karen, this was your son, is that right?
Yes, yeah. I'd been in for surgery and had gallstones out, and back then they used to give them to you. Yeah, and he took the gallstones in. But that wasn't the worst bit. Was he come home later on with them, and I was looking in the jar and said, did anyone go near this? And he goes, oh, yeah, one of the kids was opening it and had a look and that, and there was one missing.
Oh, come on! They're not marbles!
Oh, no! I was thinking the whole time, like, it'd be funny if you said someone ate one, but then that wouldn't be funny. That'd be horrific.
Kid's like, oh, this warhead's pretty sour.
That makes me feel physically sick.
One was missing. Oh, that's crook.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.